It's Friday, September 6th. Right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Bianca Bono in Phoenix, where a police officer has died after being shot in the line of duty. Tonight, we show you the somber procession in Officer Zane Coolidge's memory.
Emotional testimony from a Valley family who lost their loved one in a drunk driving crash. Tonight, they learned how long the person responsible will spend behind bars.
Are we finally done with the 110s, and will monsoon be making a comeback? I'll tell you in your 12 News weather impact forecast.
Several construction projects are back on this weekend. How you can avoid these closures so your weekend plans go as planned.
12 News at 10 with Mark Curtis and Caribe Divine starts now.
Good evening. We're starting with breaking news that we've been following throughout the night. Hearts are heavy all over the city tonight as we learn that one of the Phoenix police officers who was shot in the line of duty earlier this week has died. Officer Zane Coolidge put up a brave fight for several days, but tonight we learned that he did not survive his injuries.
Take a look at this video from Sky 12 taken 2 hours ago. Thousands of Phoenix police officers and officials from several law enforcement agencies across the valley lining up the streets between Banner University Medical Center on McDowell in downtown Phoenix as the body of Officer Zane Coolidge was escorted to the medical examiner's office near 7th Avenue in Jefferson.
Family members, friends, officers, along with government officials from Phoenix and other valley cities showed up to pay their respects to Officer Coolidge.
And that is where we find 12 News journalist Bianca Bono. She is joining us live where that procession ended. Bianca?
Mark Caribe, it has been an incredibly somber night for the city of Phoenix as the community mourns the loss of Officer Zane Coolidge, who was shot and killed in the line of duty. After fighting for his life for days in the hospital, surrounded by his family, he passed away. A procession fit for a hero. Dozens of first responders flashing their lights to honor Phoenix police officer Zane Coolidge, their brother in blue, who lost his life protecting his community. On Tuesday night, the 5-year veteran of the department was faced with evil. After responding to an attempted car break-in near 16th Street and McDowell, officials say the suspect, 41-year-old Saul Ball, shot Coolidge and Officer Matthew Haney. Haney was released from the hospital Wednesday, saved by his ballistic vest. Coolidge's injuries, though, were too much to overcome. He died in the hospital Friday and leaves behind a loving family, including a wife and young baby girl.
Heartbroken, at a loss for words. I thought it was just a nightmare.
Hannah Leff says Officer Coolidge was her field training officer, and she rode with him for 6 weeks.
You know, I didn't end up staying on the force, but he left an impact on me, and he left a print on my heart, and I think he did for everyone that got to know him.
Leff says Coolidge taught her to treat everyone with kindness, a message she'll continue to carry with her.
I know that he loves his family. He's very much a family guy. He was always charismatic. He was always so good to every citizen that we've ever encountered.
Also at the procession, Phoenix police officer Tyler Moldovan, who was shot multiple times in the line of duty, including in the head in 2021. He and his family calling for prayers for Coolidge's loved ones. A hero, gone, but never forgotten.
Truly just the kindest person I've ever met on the department. This is just a tragedy.
And fundraising efforts are well underway to help Officer Coolidge's family through this unimaginable time. We've listed links for you to donate on our website, 12news.com. I should note that Chief Michael Sullivan is expected to share more about Officer Coolidge tomorrow. We're live in downtown Phoenix tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thanks. Meanwhile, the other officer who was shot on Tuesday is being called a hero tonight for his actions. Officer Matthew Haney is out of the hospital, recovering at home. Haney has been with the police department for 2 years, but has been involved in law enforcement for 9. 12 News talked to the president of the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association. He says he spoke with Haney at the hospital and applauds his quick thinking.
I mean, this is a man who, was responding to the call, took off after this suspect with his partner, was shot, returned fire, and then realized his partner was gravely injured. And without a second's thought, he leapt into action and started treating his partner. He was the first one to start that medical treatment. And he saved that man's life, or at least gave him an opportunity to see his family, or his family to see him again.
We wanted to let you know that this coming Tuesday, there'll be a fundraiser for Officer Coolidge, Haney, and their families. It starts at 11 a.m. at the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association headquarters. All details are on our website right now at 12news.com. And of course, tonight, our thoughts are with the Coolidge family and his brothers and sisters in blue.
Tonight, a Peoria man is accused of killing a Valley mother in a Wrongway crash. He was sentenced to 2 decades behind bars.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly was in the courtroom today for the emotional testimony before a Pinal County judge handed down the sentence.
My favorite thing about Liz is her laugh and her smile.
A daughter, mother, and wife. Elizabeth McAloon had just turned 28 and was driving with her 7-year-old daughter when she was in a reckless crash that ended her life.
I felt sick to my stomach, my legs wouldn't hold me up, and all I could ask was why.
Her mother, Kimberly Surrett, talking about the day that changed her family forever.
I constantly think about how my daughter died alone without me by her side. I no longer look at life the same way. My goals and my desires are gone and I am empty.
It happened back in January. McAloon and her daughter were driving back from church on the US 60 in Apache Junction when prosecutors say 38-year-old Adam Parker was driving drunk at more than 3 times the legal limit and into oncoming traffic when he hit McAloon. She died from her injuries. Her daughter survived, but was seriously hurt.
It was not a mistake nor an accident, but a choice that has torn our family's lives apart forever.
McAloon's aunt, Stephanie Chandler, also speaking during Friday's sentencing.
My heart aches every single day when I think of how her 2 children no longer have their mother.
Parker was charged with second-degree murder and aggravated assault, crimes he pleaded guilty to.
I not only scarred your family forever, I embarrassed, shamed, and tore apart my own. I will forever live in guilt and regret for what I've done to all of you.
The victim's family calling on the judge to give Parker the maximum sentence. He agreed.
This guilt will forever haunt me, and I will spend the rest of my life trying to find a way to pay my repentance. From the bottom of my heart, I am truly sorry.
The hearing lasted about 2 hours, and at the very end, the judge sentenced Parker to 20 years in prison.
We are adjourned on this matter. Thank you.
Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Our excessive heat warning expired about 2 hours ago, but don't get too excited. It's still going to be really hot this weekend. Meteorologist Crystal Henderson is standing by with your weather impact forecast.
After waking up to the warmest low temperature for any September day at 93 degrees and locking in our 57th 110-degree afternoon, finally, we're taking the edge off of those temperatures this weekend. As we tone down temps, though, we're going to be dialing up on the dew points. You're going to be feeling that mugginess and that monsoon moisture. We're going to make some magic with it. We're going to spark showers and thunderstorms mainly across northern Arizona. We're also going to see some of those storms cause ruckus around rim country, and we'll just have to watch out for some isolated storms in the White Mountains, maybe one that strays away into the valley in those evening hours, so keep your ears perked. But at least we're finally bringing down those numbers on the thermometer, and look at those temps in northern Arizona in the sweet 70s.
Crystal, thanks. Also developing right now, a late-night traffic backup in the eastbound lanes of I-10 near the Warner off-ramp after a semi went up in flames. This is some ADOT video from around 8:15 this evening. We could see at least 3 of the right lanes of I-10 were closed as firefighters dealt with the burning truck. DPS tells us there were no injuries. Right now, the HOV lanes are open as crews still try to piece together what happened. You can stay with 12 News and 12news.com for the latest updates.
A suspect is now behind bars for the death of 24-year-old Elijah Bradley, who was found dead last month. Police say that Bradley was killed by 23-year-old Samuel Bush. Bradley was reported missing on August 15th. His body was found a few days later east of Gila Bend. Bush made his first court appearance today. He could be facing charges of second-degree murder and concealing human remains. He is being held on a $1.5 million bond.
In Tempe, 2 dogs were killed in a house fire earlier today. It happened near University and McClintock at about 1:30 this afternoon. Tempe Fire tells us no one was hurt. Crews are investigating what caused the blaze.
And in Glendale, a kitchen fire is to blame for closing Lenny's Burgers near I-17 and Glendale Avenue. Thankfully, no one was injured in the fire. No word yet on what caused it. Lenny's says that they could reopen as soon as tomorrow. Only on 12 News, Milam Textile Services near 7th Avenue and Van Buren has been washing hotel sheets and hospital gowns since the 1950s.
It shut down in 2019 and the owners are ready to sell, but their retirement plans have been derailed or put on hold by groups who want to try to preserve a piece of Phoenix history, as 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk explains.
Craig and Marilyn Milam are ready to retire, and the 2.4 acres they own in downtown Phoenix is worth a lot of money, roughly $10 million.
We can go as tall as any building in Phoenix on this property right now, the way it's zoned.
The couple, now in their 70s, applied for a demolition permit last October to knock down the old laundry facility. The city of Phoenix denied their request.
We're being held hostage. This has been mentally and physically debilitating to us.
The 45,000 square foot building is eligible for historic preservation. And once the Milams applied for the demo permit, the city's Historic Preservation Office started the process of rezoning more than half of the Milams' property.
We've never asked for it to be on the register. We've always paid full taxes on our property.
Groups like Preserve Phoenix say the building is worth saving, especially this 90-year-old lamella roof. There are only a few left in Arizona. The Milams worry the vaulted wooden roof will collapse during a strong monsoon.
Nothing is holding the ceiling up except tension from nuts and bolts and old wood.
There has been plenty of tension lately. The Milams appealed the historic preservation request. They say the property value would plummet. The land is currently listed for $9.2 million. 9 developers have already backed out.
Developers are not interested in buying it under these conditions.
The Phoenix Planning Commission agreed the property was historic, but said the Milams' wishes were more important.
You can't just force the Milams to lose millions of dollars because you want to save something.
On Wednesday, Phoenix City Council members agreed.
Finally, we feel like we're freed.
While it's the outcome they wanted, the Milams say this ongoing fight cost them money and delayed their retirement.
Millions of opportunities and things we had planned on investing in and things we'd planned on doing. Yes, it's cost us millions.
In Phoenix, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.